Tonight, WESH investigates complaints against a local roofing company. WESH 2 News investigative reporter Greg Fox talked exclusively with homeowners who wonder if they've been taken for thousands of dollars while still waiting for new roofs.
Hurricane Irma's damage has plenty of homeowners getting new roofs, but not Victor Rodriguez.
If you can see, the garage is completely damaged.
He hired Carlson Enterprises, a contractor with 5 locations, including Orlando and Daytona Beach, to replace his storm-battered roof. After signing this agreement last September, he wrote a check for nearly $9,000. Carlson cashed it, but 6 months later, no roof.
But I already paid you in full. I've signed a contract with you in September, so we're 6 months later. You still have all my money paid, and my roof hasn't been replaced.
You see how the tarp is ripped and blowing around up there? That's Victor's other concern. He's thinking that before he can get his roof replaced, he's possibly going to have more water damage inside of his home.
It's very frustrating. It's like I'm not even sure what to do about it.
Rich and Rachel Jacob paid Carlson nearly $7,000 in November. They had a signed agreement, too. But so far, their roof remains tarped, and no one at Carlson Enterprises is returning their calls.
Yeah, I'm upset. You know, if I have to come up with another $7,000 out of pocket, you know, to get my roof fixed, that's a lot of money.
It's devastating. We don't really have $7,000 laying around just aimlessly.
After failing to get anyone at Carlson Enterprises to answer the phone, we went to the Orlando office. No answer there, and no return calls or emails. Rodriguez and Jacobs are filing complaints with the agency that regulates contractors and looking for new roofers. We called and emailed the Carlson headquarters in Jacksonville for 2 days, getting no response at all for this report.
So, Greg, what else can people do in situations like this?
In addition to filing a complaint with the Department of Business and Professional Regulation, which both of them are doing, you should also reach out to the local state attorney's office. They often have a fraud unit, so you should check in your county. And of course, you can send this information to the Office of the Attorney General and ask them to investigate as well.
And honestly, a lot of people dealing with roof repairs right now.
And we saw roofs being installed in areas where people were complaining that they can't get their roofer there.
All right, Greg, thanks. A WESH 2 News investigation has sparked a wave of angry reaction from local homeowners.
They claim they paid money to a contractor but never got a new roof, and now we are learning there could be more than 150 such claims.
WESH 2 News investigative reporter Greg Fox shows us the delays are causing some homes to start falling apart.
My house is collapsing around me because of that roof.
It's been a tough year and a half for Bob Smith. His Orange County home was battered in a hailstorm in 2016. He showed us his agreement with Carlson Enterprises and his check for nearly $7,000 that was cashed by the contractor. But a year went by, no roof. Then Hurricane Irma delivered another blow. Still, no roof.
Nothing material happened in a year and a half.
Bob Smith's problems got worse a few weeks ago when, as you can see, inside of his house, the ceiling collapsed after water got through that tarp on his roof. Smith says Carlson sent someone out to retarp the roof, but until his roof is replaced, his insurance company won't address interior damage.
Carlson's got all my money tied up.
Which leaves Smith very little choice but to plead with the owner.
Mr. Carlson, if you're watching this, hook me up, man. You got my money. I need a roof.
It's just a constant excuse.
The list of people reacting to our WESH 2 News investigation is growing.
I'm upset. You know, if I have to come up with another $7,000 out of pocket, you know, to get my roof fixed, that's a lot of money.
A former Carlson employee tells customers the company is firing people and that 170 homeowners may have paid money to the contractor and have yet to get new roofs. 5 days after we visited Carlson's Orlando office and left the first of dozens of voicemails and emails, we're waiting for the contractor's response. In Orlando, Greg Fox, WESH 2 News.
WESH 2 News has provided the information that we uncovered to the Florida Attorney General's office and to the Department of State to review and potentially initiate action against Carlson Enterprises.
Our ongoing WESH 2 News investigation of a local roofing company has produced dozens of complaints and demands from customers to get their money back.
Tonight, WESH 2 News investigative reporter Greg Fox tries to track down the company owner to find out where all of that money is.
I ended up giving him almost 10 grand.
7 months later, Bob Habing still has no replacement for his hail and hurricane battered roof.
15 days before the hurricane hit.
That's when he signed the agreement and paid Carlson Enterprises. Now he's learned what WESH 2 Investigates has uncovered. Carlson has collected money from customers and not delivered.
These guys are frauds. I mean, as our sheriff would say, they're scumbags. They are. They're taking advantage of everybody.
Bob got so mad, he called police. This is the report from Port Orange PD, saying it's investigating alleged fraud by Carlson Enterprises with the intent to prosecute.
This isn't a little business going bankrupt or, having some rough times. No, they're fraudulent.
We went to Carlson's headquarters in Jacksonville. No one there. Others in the office park say company parking spaces have been empty in recent days.
I'm looking for Mr. Adolph Carlson. I'm from Channel 2 in Orlando.
A woman who answered the door at the owner's home declined to take our business card.
Somebody needs to go after them. If they can do this, what are they going to start up another company and do it again?
WESH 2 Investigates dug into corporate records and found Bob's hunch to be right. Customers who want their money back may find it hard to believe, but Carlson has decided to open up a new company last week. And according to state records, its headquarters is this UPS store. Court records also show American Express is after Carlson as well, suing the company to reclaim more than $100,000 in credit card debt. That gives Bob Habing little confidence he'll ever get his money back. In Volusia County, Greg Fox, WESH 2 News.
A former Carlson manager says potentially 170 customers have paid more than $1 million and gotten no roof work. The Attorney General's office and the Department of State are now looking into complaints and reviewing information we've uncovered about Carlson Enterprises.
WESH 2 Investigates, and now law enforcement is taking action.
A local roofing contractor that's been the focus of our investigation is accused of scamming potentially hundreds of customers.
WESH 2 News investigative reporter Greg Fox explains how local police are launching criminal investigations into this company.
Disappointment again for Victor Rodriguez. He had no luck reaching anyone from Carlson Enterprises about the nearly $9,000 he paid the company last October. Carlson has failed to put on a new roof, and he's getting no answers from the local employees with whom he signed a contract.
And they basically told me that they don't know where the money went, what the company did with my money, what's going on with the company, and that they're both in the process of being laid off by the company, and they cannot help me anymore. I'm very frustrated, very mad that they're doing this and getting away with it.
Since WESH 2 News began investigating the Jacksonville-based company, Carlson's owner and staff have not returned a single email or call. But the victim list is growing. Dozens of local homeowners have contacted us claiming to have been scammed out of thousands of dollars. According to the property manager at this complex, no one at Carlson's Orlando office has shown up since our first report nearly a month ago.
We are investigating as a criminal case.
Major Jacob Ruiz of the Osceola County Sheriff's Office says those 4 cases total $25,000 paid to Carlson, including the money Victor paid. The Sheriff's Office and other police agencies are going after company bosses for alleged theft and fraud.
Well, it's thousands and thousands of dollars, and these are just 4 cases. I understand this is something going on all throughout Central Florida, so it is a large amount of money, yes.
So large, the Attorney General's office tells WESH 2 Investigates, we are actively reviewing the complaints against Carlson Enterprises. Anyone who has been impacted should call 866-9-NO-SCAM or file a complaint at myfloridalegal.com. Carlson's victims are demanding criminal charges.
I want to see them in jail, and I want everybody to get their money back.
Greg Fox, WESH 2 News.
Carlson customers are also strongly advised to file complaints with the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation, which oversees contractor licensing.
A WESH 2 News investigation has led to action by the Attorney General's office to shut down a roofing contractor.
As we've been reporting for more than a month, customers of Carlson Enterprises claim to have paid thousands of dollars for work that was never done. Tonight, WESH 2 News investigative reporter Greg Fox explains how the contractor could face punishment.
Whether it's Bob Smith's blue-tarped roof and collapsed ceiling at his Orange County home,
How much he was involved in it, how much he knew, I don't know.
or Bob Having's damaged roof in Volusia County, the list of angry Carlson Enterprises customers is growing daily. More than 70 since our first WESH 2 Investigates report last month.
These guys are frauds. I mean, as our sheriff would say, they're scumbags.
Now the Attorney General's office has filed suit against Carlson and its owner, Adolph Carlson. It seeks a permanent injunction to stop them from doing business, restitution to victims, the freezing of company assets, and civil penalties and fines.
The pattern is taking money and not doing the work.
The Better Business Bureau has been flooded with complaints from our viewers who paid Carlson money and have not heard from them. Most of the payments were insurance checks written in the wake of Hurricane Irma's damage.
Insurance payments and them getting the check from the insurance company months and months and months ago and no work being done. So that's the pattern of all the complaints.
The Attorney General's lawsuit alleges Carlson and its manager-owner, Adolph Carlson, obtained ill-gotten monies, that consumers, victims, have suffered substantial economic injury for roofing work not performed and deceptive and unfair trade practices. So far, Carlson is still dodging our questions while a judge decides the next move in this case. Greg Fox, WESH 2 News.
If you or someone you know has done business with Carlson and the work has not been completed, you're urged to file a complaint with the Florida Attorney General's Office and the State Department of Business and Professional Regulation, which licenses contractors.
WESH 2 Investigates has just obtained court documents that show staggering numbers in an alleged roofing scam.
Carlson Enterprises is the target of a state investigation and a newly filed lawsuit by Attorney General Pam Bondi. WESH 2 News investigative reporter Greg Fox first uncovered the story. And Greg, how much money are we talking about here?
So far, it's looking like it's at nearly $600,000, and it is expected to grow along with the number of victims in this case. Since February, we have visited homeowners across the region and heard their stories of damaged roofs, many of them from Hurricane Irma. They've told us nearly identical stories of alleged fraud. They signed contracts with Carlson Enterprises, paid money or signed over insurance company checks, and no work was done. Now, the company is based in Jacksonville, but most of the complaints to us and to the state are from Central Florida. Now, court documents released today in the Attorney General's lawsuit against Carlson reveal 72 consumer complaints or victims. 64 of those complaints have been filed just since January 1st. Losses are estimated at more than $567,000. The new documents also reveal that a judge has issued the following orders in the case. Carlson and its owner and managers are to cease all operations, banks are to freeze all company assets, and all financial records are to be preserved. Court documents also reveal that owner Adolph Carlson or his brothers or managers have not only opened a new company called Kingfish Construction, which we told you about a couple of weeks ago, but also a company called Blue Water Builders of Florida. So far, no one at Carlson has returned our calls or emails. Meredith?